Hi there, welcome to your soul to soul reading for the new moon in Sagittarius. This is being uploaded on December 18th, 2017, but anytime you wish to, you can come back to this reading and it will still be relevant to you. So I'm in the midst of shuffling and trying to pick out cards, and it is full swing Mercury retrograde right now, and I am feeling every ounce of it. I'm Virgo, and my sign is ruled by Mercury, and I've never felt Mercury retrograde like this before. You would think I'd feel it all the time, but I don't. This is the first time I've ever felt a Mercury retrograde this intensely. So if I seem discombobulated, that is why. I've never felt it. Well, and yes, there are major intense energies going on too. And I'm feeling that in my personal life, etc., and whatever, but I've never been this discombobulated during a Mercury retrograde. Anyway, this is the witching hour. Welcome. My name's Michelle and I'm a witch, and I'm doing the last bit of shuffling with our cards. Today I'm going to use the Morgan Greer Tarot, and I've drawn 6 cards so far. I think I'm going to do 9, so I have a few more left. They're all face down. I haven't looked at them yet. I want to count them. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah. So I have 3 more to do. Anyway, so to recap, my last reading was on the full moon in Gemini. And that lent itself to twin flame energy. There were at least 4 planets and 11 degrees, etc. And I just felt a strong twin flame energy about that reading. And this time around, I'm feeling more of the Mercury retrograde aspect of it, and probably going to just touch upon, like, what are we reviewing? I feel like a lot of reviewing and revision, but in a very intense energy. So it's almost like if you were to picture yourself and your spirit and your soul being like a cauldron, this is when we're going to be compelled by spirit, almost in a natural, organic way, to kind of stir up the cauldron, and things are going to come bubbling up to the surface from your subconscious mind up into your conscious mind. You might get like spontaneous flashbacks of your past, or regarding relationships or your childhood, etc., etc. And things might come up, and you might go, I don't remember putting that in there. You know, I don't remember putting that in my cauldron, but it's bubbling up. I don't remember putting that in there. That's kind of how it feels. I've been called to review issues that I thought I had nailed down, and I'm being called to review things, and they have an intense energy about them. And they are regarding significant life changes. So I feel like this period of time, absolutely, this is my feeling about this new moon in Sagittarius energy. I'm not an astrologer. I'm an empathic medium. I'm a witch, but I'm an empathic medium. And my feeling about these energies is that we're going into the winter solstice, which is the dark half of the year. It's the darkest part of the dark half of the year. And I feel like what we're reviewing in this Mercury retrograde period right now is, and this is where my message is universal, and you can come back and watch it, because it isn't about the time period. It's about the messages that are coming out of it, which will last much longer than this time period. What I feel is being reviewed is the fact that we're going into the darkest part of the dark half of the year, and I feel like we're reviewing things that are more intense, or of an intense nature, from our subconscious mind, maybe a little deeper than usual. And because it's retrograde, we're not only reviewing, but we're having a hard time making sense of it right now, and it's okay. So I just wanted to tell you, don't try to make sense of it right now. Just let it come up. Let it bubble up to the surface of your cauldron and say, I don't remember putting that in there, and that's fine. You don't have to figure it out. Just let it come up. And I have a feeling that what this is preparing us for is to go through the dark part of the year, the darkest part of the dark part of the year, with this review in mind, but without forcing ourselves to try to make sense of what's coming up just yet. and what I think it's preparing us for is Imbolc. It's my very strong feeling that February 1st and 2nd, as a witch, it's one of my favorite parts of the year, because aside from Samhain, Halloween, which is just, I don't mean to stereotype myself, but I've felt this way my whole life before I even understood what any of it meant. So I know I've always been a witch, even before I knew I was. But I naturally feel, going with the seasons, that this really, literally is in preparation for Imbolc, for when the light starts to come back. As the saying goes, first the light, and then you feel the warmth. So I have a feeling that these dark parts of our subconscious mind and such are going to be brought to light, and we're going to start being able to make sense of them anywhere between now and the season of Imbolc, which will be around February 1st and 2nd. And by then it will be really coming into a peak of illumination about those things. We won't have to wait until then, but I'm saying anywhere between now and then. And these are going to be long-term type issues and themes that will be coming up. And I think right now we're just going through the heavier, more intense part of it. And I think it's going to feel lighter and lighter in synchronicity with the actual light of the sun becoming more and more brighter over the next 2 months. So all is well. It's gonna be okay. It's okay now. And I just wanted to reassure you of that. So I'm going to continue to, excuse me while I look down, because I just want to look at the cards as I finish shuffling them and pick the last 3 for us. And invite you to take a nice deep breath and just get into the energy of the reading for yourself. I'd like to invoke and call upon the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, water, and the 5th element of spirit into this reading. Card number 7. And I ask that all of our 7 senses integrate, at least for the time being, while we are doing this reading together, that our 7 senses become integrated, and that we can comprehend this reading with a lot of peace of mind. 8. Full sense of awareness, even if you have to come back and watch it again at another time when it will make more sense to you. And that one. We're done. So as I said, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. Checking my time, I have about a half hour. And I am going to pull 2 cards from the True Love Reading deck by Belinda Grace. One for male energy, one for female energy. If we have time, I will pull a card from the Crystal Reading deck by Rochelle Sharman. Maybe. But definitely going to use the True Love Reading cards by Belinda Grace, because those help kind of balance out the reading and help us apply them in a more personal way. And they touch upon our emotions as well. So, my intention for this reading, if you want to join me, is to be able to fully and clearly see the message from the divine that is bringing up whatever theme, major life theme or significant life theme that has long-term significance to it. That's what we're going to be looking at in this reading. And I ask Spirit to join us in that, to help me, to help you, to interpret the signs and symbols and feelings that should come up in these cards. And I hope my little preview there of what the energies have been doing have helped you. So I'm going to pull up for the male energy. Those of you holding a majority of male energy and identify as male, and also for females to take into consideration their masculine energy, how that pertains. Now I'm drawing one for the feminine energy, the divine feminine. And she is here. I'm going to separate them. I'll stand that up so that I remember that's the female. Feminine energy. I'll pull the crystal one now, but I'm not going to look at it yet. And that will be based on how much time I have. So just remember, we're doing this with the intention of bringing in light into the darker part of the year and into the darker part of our subconscious mind right now. And we're asking for illumination. One last card to tie it all together, if necessary. Okay, there we go. So I'm ready to see what the cards are now. First one is Four of Coins. So these issues are most definitely touching upon matters of security and insecurity, as the case may be. Sense of our foundation, the foundation of our thoughts, the foundation of some emotional set points. I'm feeling that very strongly. Emotional set points. I refer you back to my full moon in Gemini reading where I said it felt like people were going to be completely rebooted. That's what this review is about. This Mercury retrograde is going to be rebooting people's minds and this feeling and a sense of their set point, almost like just becoming completely rewired. And here, next card is the Strength card, which it's gonna call upon our strength. My feeling is go easy with yourself, be patient in the process. This is in fact pulling up your divine blueprint, your energetic signature. I don't want to rush through these images, but I want to get through the main theme of them first. So I'm going to go into the next card and come back to these other cards as I need to clarify. The next card is King of Swords. This will, in fact, not only call for clarity, call for us to have clarity, but it will be creating clarity. But give yourself time and be patient with yourself as to when that clarity will develop. It's also calling us to come out of our minds too much, and then maybe that's why we're all getting kind of confused. It's resetting our minds, so try not to offer up too much mental resistance to what you're processing, especially if it is confusing or if you're feeling confused or discombobulated. Try not to resist the sensation of feeling confused. Just go with it And know that, like I said, between now and February 1st and 2nd, if you're watching this video in the actual time it's been recorded, that would be the time frame. If you're coming back to watch this, I would say give it 6 to 8 weeks. Give it 6 to 8 weeks and be patient with yourself, okay? Rebooting and realignment and shifting a paradigm, a mental paradigm in your mind can take time. So just relax and go with it. Don't resist it. This is a completion process. So this card is the World. This is completing a karmic cycle, but it's also creating a paradigm shift in mentally. But we're not to do the work with our minds. I'm getting that message very strongly. Don't do the work with your mind. Just let everything come up. The universe will take care of it. The more you trust, the more progress you will see. The less work you do, the more progress you will see. Isn't that funny? And that sounds like a backwards message, which is very befitting to Mercury retrograde energy. It's like, well, that seems kind of backwards. It seems like, you know, should be the more work you do, the more progress you see. But that is not what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the less work you do, the less effort you make, the more progress you will see. I feel it very strongly. I can feel it in my body. And I'm picking up on your energy. So keep that in mind. I can feel it in my body, being empathic. So... and I feel it in the cosmos, and you know, I feel everything. I feel everything. So trust me, if I'm feeling it, it's happening. And it isn't just my own energy, it's yours too. The less effort you make, the more progress you will make. The next card is the Seven of Swords, and I'm laughing because to me this is the card of forgetfulness. It's like when you cut your losses and say, okay, forget it, I gotta move on. And that's a good attitude to take. It's a good approach to take. Like if you forget stuff, if you feel like if you feel the urge to analyze what's going on, don't. You're going to forget some things. Trust that the universe will remind you when it's necessary. It will remind you of the things you left behind. And it's like that U2 song. It's what I'm coming up with in my head is what we don't have, we don't need it now. What we don't have, we don't need it now. So if you don't have the perfect solution right now, just don't worry about it. The universe will play catch up for you. The less effort you make, the more progress you'll make. Let the universe do it for you. And try not to cut any corners with it. Try not to rush ahead. Don't cut any corners with it. If you're being reset and you're reviewing and revising and revisiting, you're being led to organically by the universe to review and revise, revisit, and all the re's that have to do with the retrograde of major points that are being brought up spontaneously, then let the universe do the work for you. And don't worry about forgetting things. And don't cut any corners in the process. Even if you forget something, don't worry about it. But also, don't try to take any shortcuts. Try not to skim past, but also try not to overanalyze. Okay? So it's a little balance there that you might want to relax with and just let the process happen and unfold naturally. Okay? Just let it happen. Next card is the Eight of Cups. This is about leaving stuff behind, really, with that sense of renewal. I really feel that you're going to want to really just screw out of there. This is about not taking any shortcuts, but it is about pushing forward. away from old and feeling a renewed surge of energy towards health and well-being, mentally and emotionally, especially is what I'm feeling. The next card is the High Priestess. I'm so happy to see this because this means we are going to be given a renewed sense of our intuition. And let me tell you personally, I can feel this energy coming. It's coming. I've been feeling it increasing, and it's going to really, you're going to start to notice it around in bulk, or 6 to 8 weeks from the time that you are experiencing whatever you're experiencing now. And the next card is the Devil. So obviously it's bringing up shadow stuff, which it's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. But this is what we're moving away from, but not avoiding. We're eliminating this stuff, our shadow. This is our shadow work. Nothing to be afraid of. Remember, this is just when our normal, natural, intuitive instincts get out of whack and become more egoic. And unfortunately, that part of ourself has gotten demonized. Don't demonize any part of yourself that comes up, regardless of how dark and nasty it might be. Don't be afraid of it and celebrate it. Celebrate what you're discovering and be thankful for what you're finding. Don't, I feel this strongly, don't become distressed about what you see in yourself. Be happy that you see it. Be happy that you've been given the eyes, the intuitive High Priestess eyes, to see it and celebrate it. And be happy. Be happy about it and thank the universe, thank God for it, and say, I'm so glad I see this. I feel like celebrating. So here is the male energy, masculine, divine masculine energy. Sexual freedom again. Oh my goodness, is somebody trying to tell me something? Last time I said this is about bringing in your emotions, integrating your emotions through your sexual activity and your sexual life force, energy. Bring your feelings into it. Bring your feelings into it. Don't demonize your feelings, guys. And ladies, when it comes to your masculine energy. Okay? Don't demonize the men who can't get in touch with them, but strongly encourage them. Get in touch with your feeling. And for the ladies or women and men holding the divine feminine energy, yin and yang. How beautiful. It's all about the balance and the clarity. So, if you're female or holding mostly female energy, and the feeling I'm getting is if you find yourself a step ahead of your partner in terms of recognizing balance, be patient with your partner and be patient and have a sense of compassion. Just live out your sense of balance. Live it out and like walk the talk, so to speak, and just be more of an embodiment of holding inner balance and emotional equilibrium. And I feel a lot of strength coming from this card, that you being in tune with your emotions is going to be strengthening you. And instead of encouraging your partner to catch up, just be you and just be strong and balanced in yourself. And run your own race, so to speak. Stay in your own lane. I know it probably seems more critical and urgent if there's, imbalances, but, and here's the ruby card for the crystal cards. Shine. Whenever our main objective is to shine for ourselves, shine our own light and our energy, and also to encourage our partners in life and the people around us to shine. So focus first on yourself, though, shining. Embody that shine for yourself, and your light will light the way for others without you telling them and showing them the way. You can individuate and still bring unification without trying and making the effort to bring people into alignment with you. Just shine yourself. and embody the light yourself, and that will illuminate the path for other people. Okay? So that sounds good. And I hope you enjoyed that our time is almost up. Thank you so much for joining me. You were meant to be here. If you came by here, you were meant to be here, and I'm very grateful you were. So I hope to see you again very soon. And I hope that reading helped. Please visit my shop, The Mystic Smuggler, on Etsy.com. The Mystic Smuggler. You can purchase a personal reading. You can buy one of my candles. You can buy one of my necklaces, or whatever your heart desires. And check me out on Facebook at The Witching Hour on Facebook. And that's how you can keep in touch with me. You can also donate to this channel if you go to the About section of this channel. And you can also leave comments. Please give me a thumbs up. Write a comment, ask a question. I will base a whole video reading on your question if you want. It would be fun if it's something that you feel like sharing. So, and let me know how this video reading resonated for you. Keep in touch. And until we meet again, from my soul to yours, brightest blessings and much love. Take care. Bye-bye.